Hello everyone, for today's class we will study a new chapter, Chapter 5, Etiology and Pathogenesis of TCM. From TCM view, etiology mainly refers to the pathogenic factors which could induce disease. Pathogenesis usually refers to the whole process of onset, progression, and prognosis of disease. First, let's get to know the contents of etiology. There is a close relationship among etiology, pathogenesis, and symptoms. Etiology and pathogenesis mainly discuss the cause of disease and the mechanism of disease occurrence, development, and evolution. According to TCM, etiology refers to various kinds of factors that cause diseases, such as abnormal climates, severe emotions, phlegm retention, blood stasis, etc. For example, we have a patient with the symptoms like fever, cough, sneezing, running nose, and stuffy nose. How do we know what the pathogenic factors are? To answer this question, body temperature, blood and or urine test and image examination may be applied by the Western medical doctor to find the bacteria or viruses which induced the disease. In order to understand the etiology, TCM will focus on the symptoms and the signs. At the same time, the doctor usually checks the tongue and feels the pulse for the patient. Then, based on all the information collected by using the diagnostic methods, the TCM doctor will infer the pathogenic factors which induce the disease. Analysis of symptoms and signs to deduce etiology, such method is called syndrome differentiation to determine disease cause. To be more specific, the etiology is classified into 3 categories: the 6 pathogenic factors invading the body from the outside, which are called external pathogenic factors. For example, wind, as one of the 6 external pathogenic factors, invade the human body mainly through skin, nose, or mouth. The 7 emotions directly involving the internal organs, which are called internal pathogenic factors. Third, the pathological products, such as the static blood, can induce disease as a kind of pathogenic factor. Now, let's go through all kinds of pathogenic factors. Under normal circumstances, wind, cold, summer heat, dampness, dryness, fire or heat are called 6T. They are 6 normal conditions of nature and are harmless to human body. When excessive or deficient climate occurs, for example, too hot in summer or too warm in winter, and rapid climate changes, the body cannot adapt, then disease occurs. On the other hand, when people are too weak to adapt themselves even to normal climate changes, the 6T will also become pathogenic factors to attack and cause disease. Under these circumstances, the 6T are called 6 pathogenic factors. There are some characteristics for 6 pathogenic factors. First, they invade human bodies through skin or from nose or from mouth or both at the same time. Second, they have a closely relationship with the seasonal changes. For example, in spring, there may be more wind disease, summer more heat disease, etc. Third, they can invade the body respectively and simultaneously. For example, common cold due to wind cold, diarrhea due to dampness, heat, etc. Wind belongs to young pathogen, mainly attacks the upper part or the surface of the body. Wind tends to mobile and causes disease with no fixed place, such as the syndrome of migratory arthritis. On the other side, wind diseases are unpredictable and attack quickly, such as urticaria. Wind tends to cause vibration, the symptoms like tremor, vertigo, convulsions, stiff neck, and so on. Wind is the primary pathogen that leads to be complicated by other pathogenic factors that is attached by other pathogens. For example, cold tends to attach to wind when attacking body, causing syndrome like wind cold. Cold belongs to yin pathogen, tends to damage yang qi, and leads to the symptoms such as aversion to cold, fever, headache, running nose, body pain, etc. Cold can easily lead to stagnation in the body, like stagnation of qi or blood, which induce the symptoms of pain. Cold has a characteristic of constriction and traction. For cold attacking the exterior, there may be aversion to cold and fever without sweating. When cold attacks meridians and joints, it can induce spasm and pain. Cold has a characteristic of limpidity, which produces clear nasal discharge or white clear sputum. Summer heat has a characteristic of torrid and belongs to yang. Symptoms like high fever, profuse sweating, thirsty, red complexion, and surging pulse are all the features of it. Summer heat ascends and disperses, attacks the head and often pericardium directly, with the symptoms like great sweating, weak, scanty and dark urine, etc. Summer heat is usually accompanied with dampness, induces symptoms such as heavy limbs, stuffy chest, sticky stool, greasy tongue coating, etc. Dampness belongs to yin and tends to damage yang qi, inducing the symptoms like chest distress, poor appetite, and abdominal distension, etc. Dampness is characterized by heavy and turbid, which may induce the symptoms of heaviness of head, dirty complexion, turbid urine. Dampness is viscous and lingering and mainly present with sticky, greasy tongue coating and long course of disease. Dampness tends to move downward, which induces the lower limbs often having edema. Dryness pathogen belongs to yang and is characterized by dryness and tends to consume body fluid, inducing dryness of mouth, nose, throat, skin, and feces. Dryness tends to impair the lung. Fire or heat belongs to yang. Fire or heat has an ascending tendency, having symptoms like high fever, aversion to heat, red tongue, rapid pulse, etc. Fire or heat disturbs the mind, which may induce insomnia or unconsciousness. Fire or heat is likely to consume qi and body fluid and may have the symptoms such as thirsty, dry throat, dark urine, constipation, red tongue with yellow coating. Fire or heat is prone to produce bleeding and internal wind. The symptoms such as bloody stool, headache, and high fever can be seen. The internal pathogenic factors refer to the 7 emotions, including joy, anger, anxiety, considering, grief, fear, and fright. They are the human mental activities. When sudden, strong, long, or prolonged emotional stimuli go beyond the body's adaptability and endurance, the emotional stimuli will become pathogenic factors which cause dysfunction of qi, blood, and the zang organs, and imbalance of yin and yang, hence leading to diseases. Different from the 6 pathogenic factors, the 7 emotions directly affect the corresponding zang organs and result in diseases, because a certain zang organ is closely related to a certain emotional activity. The basic rules are as follows. Excessive anger damages liver. Excessive joy damages heart. Excessive considering damaged spleen, excessive grief and worry damage lung, excessive fear and fright damage kidney. Anyway, excessive emotions damage the functions of some organs. The third kind of pathogenic factor is pathological product, such as phlegm and fluid retention, stagnant blood, and calculus. On one side, all these are pathological products produced by body. On the other side, they can induce disease and pathogenic factors. All in all, through today's class, I hope you get the point that the etiology of TCM is quite different with Western medicine. TCM uses the syndrome differentiation method to seek the pathogenic factors, and the pathogenic factors are classified into 3 categories. That's all for today. See you in next class.